mate. How you going?
G'day, and welcome to the very first episode of Counter Lunch, the virtual pub podcast experience. The very first pub podcast in the world, I think. I haven't. There is a disclaimer with that. I haven't actually checked to see whether there are any other pub podcasts, but I imagine this is one of the very original. My name's Ewan, and I'm at the
joined
pub.
by your buddy Ben.
I was going to introduce you, but that's fine.
Well, that's all right. I think that's fine. I can just chime in. You said you were going to mute me, but I'm here. So, Ewan, would it be important to give a bit of context of who we are in these earlier episodes, for noting that anyone listening in this day dot episode might be, we already know them, they know us, but should we just kind of pull it in for the everyman, the person that might not know us, international listeners?
Certainly, yeah, and in Tasmania too. Would you like to start?
Sure. I think
I'll follow your lead.
Ewan and I grew up together in Parkes, New South Wales. So we're going on, I don't know, Ewan, 17, 18 years of knowing each other, maybe something
more.
Too many years.
Too much. But
I think, for those that we do convince to click play on their recorder and actually listen to this, we'll kind of have an idea. But
on their recorder,
on the player,
on
their chosen podcast player, they get on the line
on the tunes.
Yeah, cool. I'll leave you to it. Sorry, over to you, Ewan.
Yeah, well, so for those that don't know, for international listeners, Ben and I, we grew up together. So what did that be? 17, 18, 20 years. We're going way back. But we used to do this in real life quite a bit. But now with Corona, we're all sort of having to do things virtually, and so hence the virtual pub podcast. But we were actually thinking about doing something similar before it became cool. But now that it's cool to everybody to pop up on Zoom, we're going to do it anyway. And we've invited some people to come along and say g'day.
Yeah, so we've created a pub environment around us, like where pub is probably our home office and we've got a monitor. But we are, for all context, we are at the pub. We do have virtual bartenders.
What are you having?
I'm having a Monteith Black, which is a Kiwi beer, and I usually drink shit beer these days because I don't have that big dog corporate money like you do, Ewan. It's okay. What are you charging down?
Well, I stuffed up actually. I thought I'd class it up a little bit, and so I've got Frogmore Creek, a Riesling from
Beautiful.
Tasmania,
Hobart,
for our Hobart listeners, Launceston ladies. But it's a sweet one.
It probably is,
which
is an interesting choice to kick off the first pub podcast when you're down and having a cold one with your mates. But we are joined by a couple of mates that are joining us down at the pub for a beer, Ewan, and two of them are our
for counter lunch.
For a counter lunch is our two mates, Witty, and probably his name's Ben as well, but we'll affectionately know him as Witty. And then we've got Kaz, who we've known for years and years and years, from, of course, Regional Finance Northern Rivers chapter.
And a huge thank you to Regional Finance Corporation chapter for their help with this podcast.
Of course, and we don't know exactly what that means. So should we go catch up with Witty?
Or do you want to call him over and just see what he's up to?
Oi,
Witty.
Hey, hello.
That's
didn't
not
see
awkward
you in
at
the
all.
dining room.
Would you say with Witty he's our mate that as the years gone by? Oh, it's a stretch, but as the years go by, he's gotten more handsome. I'd say
certainly a certain silver charm.
Kaz, who we'll have a beer with later, sent through some photos the other day, and it summed it up well because it's the four of us essentially, and Witty looks better now than what he did then. And I'm just saying he's like that ugly duckling, but not like Witty was ever ugly.
Or a duckling.
So I'm just putting it out there. So, if you want to describe him in great detail, Ewan, you can. But, I'd just say he's a handsome guy, and we can leave it at that. We probably don't have to unpack this anymore.
And it's lovely, obviously. it is nice of you to join us down at the pub, Ben. What are you having? Can I get you one?
I've got one. I'm not having any coronas today, but I'm having a bit of a 4X fever over here. And I've been dropping that dad
4X
joke to
fever?
people for about 3 weeks, and it goes down like a treat.
The corona joke.
Yeah. It originated with me. If you hadn't realised, I was the first one to make like corona beer jokes during coronavirus. That was me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's good. No, it works really well because the virus, of course, for those international listeners, is the coronavirus, and that's why it chimes in with the beer, of course.
Yeah, and they haven't had the coronavirus overseas yet, have they?
Fuck, it's gonna.
Yeah, it's exclusively here in Australia. Now, Ewan would say we asked Whitty to be on this first podcast because we knew it was going to be a bit of a nostalgia episode, throwing back to finishing high school in 2005. But Whitty famously, after high school, gave up the booze when he was about 19. So we brought him on because he's the one that can remember. He can remember. So we all poured all our money into the pub, and Whitty joined us at the pub, but chose to keep it straight, which is good now because he can recount memories back to us, and then we often get a laugh of when he pulls something out.
10 years without a hangover. Is that what it is, Whitty? Be more than that.
Yeah. Look, the thing I remember most is the taste of lemon lima bitters.
You can still have that. You just can't have the.
It's not too much. Not too much. You can't have like 300.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I've had for 10 years. I'm never going to forget it.
Whitty, so Whitty's joined us to share some memories of times growing up because as international listeners will remember from a little earlier on, Ben, we all grew up together on this inaugural virtual pub podcast experience. And so, Whitty, we've asked you to try and remember some strange story that only you can remember because only you have the brain cells to be able to pull this off.
Well, I was racking my brain cells this morning trying to think what I wanted to talk about, and as I remember,
not hard for you.
No, there's plenty of brain cells on the rack to be racked, but as I racked the rack, every time I thought of one, I would think of another. But what I realised was that I could barely think of any story that's not at someone else's expense. So whatever may have happened to me during my teenage years,
that's okay. I think that's fine.
Yeah,
this isn't public.
That's just a disclaimer for all our dear friends out there.
Can you change the names?
No.
Like a Sarah couldn't become a Sally kind of thing.
I know.
And then you can tell the story in full detail.
Well, sure, I can if that's what you want me to do.
Like if you want to have a go at George Pell or something, you just change his name to
Greg Pell.
Orge Gel. Yeah.
Hair gel.
George
like
Snell.
you could do that. That's an opportunity that's available to you.
It's a trick you can keep in your back pocket, Whitty. You can pull out the name if you like. You can just say the name outright and then just deal with it later, or you can just come up with an alternate name. But I think you should just fire straight into one.
All right. I'll keep that in mind.
Shut up.
All right.
Sorry, Ben.
Shall I reminisce?
Well, do.
Please.
Well, okay. One of the first ones I thought of was just a funny little ditty from one of our snow trips up to Jindabyne for accommodation and then heading up to the snow each day. We did this a few times in our post-school years. And I remember once we'd had a long day on the snow. Most of us were on boards. Maybe all of us were snowboarding. We'd had a great day. We were very active, and then we'd come back into Jindabyne to wind down. And I remember one night we were at a bar, and we were having a great time. I can't remember the particulars, but a lovely local lass came up to our friend Matt, who I'll refer to as Matthew for privacy, and said, a very drunken interaction, said, "Hey, do you want to hook up?" And Matt said, "Yeah.
That easy."
And they did.
That easy.
So that was yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I remember having a lot of laughs about that and quoting it. I remember any time there was any female involvement for Matthew from that day on, it was it would be us whispering in the corner while we observed, hey, do you want to hook up?
Do you remember
Yeah.
why she would have chosen Matthew over, say, myself?
Like a Sam Pearce. Oh, no. Okay.
Well, it could be the same reason that he's not here today, because he's a man of few words. Like there's no need
Mystery.
to get
It's the
into
mystery.
conjecture. It's just, we're in Jindabyne, we're single, we're athletes of some capacity. Let's be humans. I want this.
Probably didn't even have lessons, I'd say, on
And I
that trip. Probably just went straight into it. Just
on hooking up?
No,
Oh,
on snowboarding. I was so when you're very into athleticism, and obviously that's your strong suit, Whitty. Of course, goes without saying. I didn't even have to bring that up, but it goes without saying. Play on.
Ben, because you're in Sydney, Whitchurch, you're in Sydney. This is the Easter weekend that we're talking to you on in 2020. We're right in the midst of the Forex, the Corona crisis. How are things where you are?
Things in my little 2-bedroom apartment are a little crazy. I can't speak for the rest of the world. There's 2 adults, one functioning adult, one less functioning, and a couple of kids. I'm working from home pretty much full time, and it's just a taste of the 19th century.
I don't remember that, but yeah.
Things were a lot simpler. You did more things with your family, which is a blessing and a curse. A lot less traffic on the roads. We get up to the shops to get groceries and, grab a coffee if the shop's open, and it's very quiet. It's very surreal. And you walk past someone on the footpath and you're thinking, are they going to want me to keep 1.5 meters? Are they going to look at me and wonder the same thing?
They do.
But they did that before Corona, from memory.
Yeah, isn't that a court order? Didn't you have that? Isn't it like that's a thing, something to do with schools? I think, Whitty. That was schools, mate. That's
1.5 meters from a school. That's right. Yeah.
Whitty, when you live in Sydney now. When did you move out of Parks? When did you leave the country?
January 2011. We moved up here.
Exact.
So it's 9.5 years. Yeah, hottest day on record for the time.
What was the temperature?
I don't know, but it was the highest.
That's those brain cells working yet again. That's amazing.
Yeah, you don't forget moving house on a hot day, 500 k's away. Yeah, so it'll be 10 years in January.
Who brought a keyboard to the pub? Look at you. You don't bring a keyboard to the pub.
That would have been me. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
Jackpot! Someone's got it.
Boys, when you go, where's the gold?
Eating's cheating, mate.
Whitty, it's been nice. It's been lovely to catch up with you. We should do this again sometime very, very soon.
All right, no worries. Thanks, guys.
Do stick around. Go and talk to some other people at the bar.
Thanks, mate.
But we've got to go and catch up with Kaz.
Kaz.
G'day.
How you doing?
Coming to us from your cave, by the sounds.
What do you mean, cave? It's a bit echoey, is it?
No, it's fine. Whitchurch has just messaged us saying he's got more stories. Pathetic.
Sorry, Whitty, you've had your time, buddy. You've had your time. Sorry, Whit. We'll drag you back over if we've got.
Kaz, how's isolation up north?
It's not too bad. It's pretty good. The sun's still shining, so that's all right.
Weird? Is it weird?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, you were a bit of a hermit before, weren't you?
I wouldn't say
Not very social.
Ewan. I do have friends. I just work from home, that's all.
Do you get dressed?
I do, yep. I do get dressed most days.
So Kaz is wearing a flannelette shirt today, which kind of sings back to our country roots. But is that what you typically wear to the office, and the office being home, or you try and be a bit more professional than that?
I try and be a little bit more professional than that, but I did think that a flannelette shirt was appropriate for seeing you guys, so I just popped it on. Yep.
Great, thanks. It's very complimentary. Ewan's got a sweater on, and I'm wearing a t-shirt because it's I've got the same outfit as Whitty, which is pretty much it's summer here in Newcastle, but weird that you've got it, and so up in Ballina, Kaz, you're not getting that tropical burn that you get most, in summertime.
Oh, look, it's pretty warm. I've just got the flanny on for your guys' benefit.
What was that, Kaz? Was that Corona?
No, it's not. It's just a bit of nerves popping up there. Sorry, Ewan. No Rona here.
Kaz, can I get you a drink? Will that help? Would you like some sweet Riesling?
Oh,
No, look, I've already got one. And again, I was just thinking of you guys and decided that I'd order something that would take us back a little bit. And so I've got my Tui's new long neck here, guys.
Longy. You know what it's
Yeah.
missing, though?
What's that?
Brown paper bag.
I did think about that. There's also a question in the lid. Do you want me to read it out to you?
so the quiz, good.
Oh, yeah, actually, we'll have a go.
In what year was the first best of 3 State of Origin Rugby League series played?
Oh, if only Whitty was still here, he'd know this.
He was a big footy head.
About 1982.
82, of course it was,
Yeah.
Ewan. Of course it was.
1982, yeah. Before our time.
Before our time.
So, Kaz,
Yeah.
you recently started a new gig at Regional Finance Solutions Northern Rivers chapter, and you sent
That I
everyone
did.
back in February a like my page thing with your photo on it, and you said like this page, this is my new shtick, and you're in now 2 months into the new gig.
Yeah.
Do you find that people it's a bit quieter in your service offering with the coronavirus and things at the moment?
Well, it's not the ideal time to buy a house. So,
Oh,
yeah.
This is an exclusive then. So that's coming from...
No, I'm not
Oh.
giving advice.
Barefoot
I'm not
over
giving
here.
financial advice. Oh, come on, mate. Yeah, no, it's much quieter. So it's been a bit difficult, actually.
Whitty, when are you buying?
We were going to buy right before all this stuff happened. We were going to buy in Parks
Beautiful.
because we were going to move back to Parks in June, and then this all happened.
My mum's house is about to be for sale, Whitty.
How is it?
It's good.
Nice place. You've been
Yeah.
to Kaz's house.
Up on the east side of town, is that right?
Oh, very
Orange
nice.
Way?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, very
Yeah, it
nice.
is.
Very nice.
Yep.
Very safe.
Nice.
Good to raise a family.
Hmm.
If you need anything, Witty, in terms of like Northern Rivers kind of finance solutions, anything in that kind of range, Kaz, who's on this call, can help you out.
I
with
know
it.
you're thinking about Parks, but if you were happy to commute
To Ballina?
to Ballina.
I can do home loans for anyone in any location,
Yeah.
right? It's not just because I live here.
Oi, Ewan. Hey, there you go. Holy shit. Witty, I encourage you to jump on to and Kaz will probably send it through very shortly because she'll do a follow up because she knows you're in the market.
Little survey monkey, something or other.
You've gone through a click funnel now, being on this, and quite graciously, and we'll probably send an invoice, Kaz, for mentioning this so many times. But
Is it NR Financial Advice?
it's,
that what we're talking about?
No, it's Regional Finance Solutions Northern Rivers, Witty. If you're on Facebook, you can find it. And if you scroll back down, you want to go through a few posts. But if you go down to February 5, which is the 5th of February, you can see Kaz's picture, which is probably doubles as a LinkedIn profile as well. That's quite a nice picture, Kaz. Did you take that?
Thanks, Oki.
Well, clearly
No,
not.
I didn't.
If she's in it.
Oh, maybe it was a timer. I don't know. You?
Ballina office. Is that right?
Kaz, can I just read this out to you?
Mhm.
And this is probably going to be a bit sore when I point out what's wrong with it. All right. So we would like to welcome Kaz Tooley to the Regional Finance Solutions Northern Rivers team. Do you guys do you have like a touch team that you do as well? A lot of companies have touch football teams in summer. Do you do that?
No.
Just do your
No.
own thing after work? That's cool. It's pretty antisocial, but it's probably helped you through this tough time.
Mate, we're all in isolation, so pretty sure it's fine to be antisocial at the moment.
That's fine. No, it is. It's actually encouraged. But Ewan's
Thank
been
you.
out and about, but that's another story. As a result, and I'm just going to continue reading this. So as a result of the tremendous support of the Northern Rivers community, which of course for our international listeners, that's Ballina and Byron and that area, Regional Finance Solutions has expanded its representation to ensure we can maintain the high levels of personal service and relationships we pride ourselves on. So, and then Kaz's background in quality assurance and strategic planning.
What does that mean?
Yeah, let's unpack that a little bit.
No, keep reading. I want you to tell me what's wrong with it first.
And she is passionate about working closely with people to define and achieve their goals. Right? This is the bit that's wrong. This next bit, and you can tell me, and maybe Whitty can pick up why. To have a chat about how we can assist you achieve your goals. Give us a call on 04 blah 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 David Seymour at regfin.com or Kaz. So what do you think? What do you think's wrong with that? I'd probably bring it up on around the water cooler on Monday.
Is it something with the phone number?
No, it's the fact that it's like we'd like to welcome Kaz. It's all about Kaz.
But they didn't give Kaz's email up front.
It's just Dave. Dave's straight in. He's put the post up and he's like, it's just Dave. Call Dave, email Dave.
It's all about Dave.
And then if you can't get through to Dave, obviously try Kaz because we've expanded our representation in the Northern Rivers Regional Finance Solutions community chapter.
Maybe I didn't have an email address by then.
No, you do. It's here, Kaz. I'm just saying it's like give us a call or email on David's number, then david.seymour@regfin.com.au or your number and then Kaz Tooley at regfin. You'd think if the post was about you, it would be it'd be like call Kaz on blah blah blah, not D-Train that just wants to click the sales funnel and reap the rewards of a Facebook post. And obviously he's doing very well because he's got quite a nice pair of frames in his picture here.
Should I just edit it now?
Oh, it's pretty scandalous. It'll probably pop up in his feed, but
I can do it. It's fine.
Yeah, I think
it's to his news giving me courage. This is really hard to drink, by the way.
Yeah, it's gross. You need the paper bag.
Oh, try a Riesling from Frogmore Creek Estate in Hobart.
I'm halfway through. I've done well. Ugh, it is revolting.
You've done very well, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have a chat to David about it.
I think it's fair.
Just clear the air.
I think it's
Make
fair,
sure that there was no.
Obviously, that
bad intent
he's probably getting his 20 grand a month in commission. You're probably sitting there, kicking stones around, getting you $2,000 or whatever, selling tents from Big W or whatever you do. But like that's
that's a pretty shitty assumption.
No, I'm just saying this post has probably done very well, and you've obviously got the deck and the dashboard to see the stats of the page traffic and stuff.
It'd be better today after you three have clicked on it.
It's true.
We saw a significant spike, Kaz. This is David. On Easter
He doesn't even know how to log on to it, so it's fine, guys. I'm the one who looks after it. He won't know that I've changed anything.
But Whitty, I think definitely keep this like the page. You're obviously on it now. You can see it. Click like, follow it. Kaz, if Kaz can help you out at all, it's worth picking up the phone. You could even just private message her. You probably got her number still.
Can I get a schooner of soda water with real lime in it? Not that cordial. Thanks.
So, Kaz, the thing, you obviously made a move from Parks back. I think you moved pretty much straight after high school and you went to uni and did whatever. But you had a bit of a stint at one of Parks's best takeaway restaurants. Takeaway cafes, Chester the Chick.
Cafe, yeah. Yep.
Cafe. And
I did.
Do you think if you stuck around, one, they'd still be in business, and two, do you think you would have made it more successful than perhaps selling mortgage broking? Do you sell mortgages? I don't know. Offering mortgage services.
Yeah, they'd probably still be open if I had stuck around.
Are they shut? Are they?
Yeah, they've had a few So it became a burger shop, Ewan, and then I think now, and I haven't been out to Parks for a while because of Corona, but
I think it's more than that, isn't it?
Probably, but it's I think it's a Vietnamese cafe restaurant kind of spot in there now. Maybe Whitty can confirm, but I mean Whitty's on the other side of the room, so. Nah, Whitty, you don't have to come over. It's all right, mate. You can stay where you are.
No, it's shut. There's no one else in there now. It's shut.
Good, mate. Thanks, buddy.
Good work, Whitty.
Taxi, send him home. So...
I was in the gravy. Why did I get sick that day?
Oh, I don't know what particular day you're referring to, but there was just a lot of stuff in the gravy. I can't disclose. It's a little bit like KFC. There's secret herbs and spices in there, Ewan.
Yeah, I think there was more than that.
Potentially.
But you'd say like their selling point in the park's fish and chippery market, Kaz, they famously they didn't wrap their chips up in the thick cut chips and you just announce how much you want to pay. You don't say, I want $2 of chips, and they wrap it up for you. At Chest of the Chick, they sold it by the box, and they had the long skinny straw chips like Macca's do.
Yeah.
And it had a bit of a cult following for the after school crowd. And then obviously gravy was at a premium. You probably paid more for it. But that was, I think, mourning the loss. And if you were to ask anyone what Parks really needs now, and if anyone says a cinema, I think they're wrong. It's probably to bring Chest of the Chick back.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, you also got to choose between yellow and orange chicken salt. Do you remember that?
No.
What was the difference?
Yeah, what was the difference?
Apart from colour.
Well, they taste different. Different texture.
Different chickens ground up.
I've got no idea, again, what's in that. It's a secret recipe, Ewan. But, yeah, you also had a choice of salt. Fancy place.
You're quite loyal to these people, Kaz, for someone that hasn't worked there for 10 plus years.
Oh, look, as a new small business owner, I think that you have to make sure that you're good to other small business owners.
Yeah, it's good. Kaz, loyalty aside, we'll remove Chest of the Chick from the equation. But if you were to pick your go-to fish and chippery between the Swan Cafe and the Silver Brim at the top end of town, famously near the roundabout, what would your selection be? I'll tell you mine. It'd be the Silver Brim, hands down.
This is a tough question.
Hard.
Why is that? Why the choice?
I just have a connection with the Silver Brim. I don't know exactly why. I guess it just comes in. Witty's angling for he's across the other side of the room doing a swan sign with his hand and some feathers out the back. Yeah, Witty's the Swan Cafe fan. Silver Brim for me, it just it doesn't it just resonates well. It could have been the branding or they don't look you in the eye when you order. It could be
that
anything.
helps.
It could be that helps with the ordering.
Which one's on the corner? And
they probably do contactless.
Which one's on the corner and which one's closest to Woolies?
Don't pretend, Kaz. Come on, don't do that.
I choose the one that's closest to Woolies.
Oh, yeah, Silver Brim.
There you go.
That's the Silver Brim. Ewan?
We're sponsored by Northern Rivers Mortgage Broking Services chapter.
That is the wrong name. Regional Finance Solutions, Ewan. Just to correct you there.
No problem. You're very welcome.
I was going to tell you guys about the time we put duct tape racing stripes on my Barina.
Why did you open with that one?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a bit stronger. I was going to keep it for later.
Witty,
what?
Hey,
I'll chat to you later. I don't want to bust in on Kaz's spot. I'm going to mute again.
Oh. You don't mute. We're at a pub. You walk over the other side.
You walk to the other side of the room, mate.
All right. Well, I'm just on the way past for a whiz then. We also put the duct tape racing stripes on Chris's yellow Ford station wagon, and I believe someone put in duct tape Pussy Wagon along the side as well, and he wasn't a big fan of that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now I've got to put a rating on there.
Sorry, we're not allowed to say station wagon. It's a dirty word.
Well, Witty, what do you think? Like, so, we just dove into the Chest of the Chick kind of fiasco, and, there's the whole...
He's a Swan fan.
He's a Swan fan, but if just say Chest of the Chick aside and a cinema aside, what is the essential service that Parks needs right now amidst the corona? No, it doesn't have to be coronavirus related, but what has Parks always needed, maybe?
Water.
Okay, we're in a heavy drought.
Well, I've got to go back 10 years to think about what I would have thought important back then. And so cinema was always a good one. Bowling alley on the fringes, probably not the best answer.
No way.
We got an Aldi, so I can't say Aldi anymore. Maybe more support for people experiencing homelessness.
Is there a big homeless factor in Parks?
I was being sarcastic. I thought I'd get a laugh.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, we can put the laughs in. That's one.
Oggy, you were saying no to the bowling alley and the cinema. What would you choose?
Yeah, just because I just don't think the population is we've had it. We've had a cinema. We've had it twice. We had the OG one, then we had the one that I worked.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't you and Sam work at one?
Leagues Club.
Yeah, we went and saw Death Dogs there. That was amazing.
I think there's a reason. There's a reason
my
why
computer password is still Jervik from that movie.
Yeah, right. Nice. Good to know. Thanks, Winnie. But yeah, no, I think they just don't get patronised as much as people think they need them. I think you go to a few movies and then the population isn't big enough to support a business like that. They're pretty costly to run. But in a bowling alley is just a niche thing. Like you go bowling once a year type of thing. So the population is big enough. But we've had lots of like Wendy's, the ice cream shop kind of came and went, and like I don't know if that little sushi spot's still there, and we've seen like 100 different pizza shops open up and down the main street. They're gone probably. Domino's probably.
If you want to know what works though, you just got to look at Rockman's.
Rockman's, as in the ladies' fashion.
Yeah, they got a niche. You just got to find a niche. You got to figure out who lives there and what they need.
Yeah, women, just women. 50% of the population. And what we asked Whitty if he had a memory of back in the day. Do you have one that you can kind of spit back out for us that we might not remember?
Oh, probably not a full story. I have snippets of memories.
Do you have like a beginning and an end, and we can fill in the middle?
No, I've just got parts to them. But one main one, and one thing that I really remember very fondly is going out one night, and it was just myself and 3 male friends. May or may not be some people in this chat, and it's you guys. I think it was actually an Easter weekend, and there was no one around, and we all got super drunk. And then 2 of our friends had a really big fight about politics, I think. And then one of them wouldn't get into the taxi to get home. And I think that we drove behind and was like, get in the taxi. Was it taxi or was it Sue?
Well, I just don't know if we had the money to roll around in such luxury like a taxi. But
I don't think it was like 2006. I don't think it was, straight after school. I think we'd all started working maybe.
Okay.
I can't remember when it was.
On the corporate money.
But yeah, one of our friends had the shits over an argument over politics and wouldn't get in the cab with us, and it was very funny.
That's childish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's childish.
It was a little bit, but it was really, really funny.
Who was it, Cats? Because it's Ewan, obviously. Ewan's one of the culprits, and that's. But Ewan probably wasn't the one that got the shits and left.
I love a taxi.
Ewan, Ewan, big supporter of his. He refuses to get an Uber. He's 1-3 cabs type of guy. But who spat the dummy and got the thing home? Was it me?
Look, I just remember the people that were there. Yeah, well, the people that were there, it was Ewan. No, it was
Change
you.
the
I'm
names
just
if
going
it
to tell you
helps.
who was there. It was you, Ewan, Oggy, and I, and Sam.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Sam and Ewan. Done. That's it.
I can't remember who wouldn't get in the cab, but I do remember who was there.
Do you remember what the political argument was?
Yeah. Is this going to resonate well for our international listeners?
Well, if it was over 9/11, it might.
Maybe. There you go. Play on. We were in year 8, but that's cool. No worries.
I can't remember what it was. I just remember thinking that it was really ridiculous. It might have even been about religion. It was one of those 2 topics.
Perfect.
Bringing it full circle back to Easter. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned it was an Easter weekend. It probably was. Sam was probably
out of line.
Out of line.
Hey guys, he's not here to defend himself.
Who got the cab? Ewan or Sam?
The fight was happening at the taxi rank. We were all standing there waiting to get into the cab, and the fight was happening. And so 3 of us got in, and the other one was like, "Nah, fuck it, I'm going to walk home." And then
Sam
walked
home. Yeah, Ewan got in because he.
I can't remember. I actually can't remember.
But how's that going to go for our listeners? And they go, oh, we're like, we bring you and we bring 2 people on that are going to spit out some memories for us to make us sound a bit probably maybe cooler than we actually are. And they come and
of course.
Woody comes up with one about Matt, which is, you know, I like that one. But Kaz comes out with one saying, "Oh, two mates had an argument about politics and one wouldn't get in the taxi."
No, it was about religion.
Okay. Had an argument about religion and one wouldn't get in the cab. And then we probably had a fight in the cab about who was going to pay for the cab.
I don't understand why we were getting a cab. It's only a small town. Didn't we always walk?
Yeah.
Who was paying for cabs back then? Why are we calling them cabs? They're taxis.
Look, I told you I don't have many brain cells left. That was one of the things I remember. And Oggy, you and I thought it was very funny at the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's great now. And I wish something like this was around at the time so someone could document what exactly it
Me
was
too.
about.
That's right.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, maybe that brings us to the end of our virtual pub experience for this Easter weekend. It's been lovely to have you both, Kaz and Ben and Whitty. Thank you so much for dropping by the pub.
My pleasure.
Thanks,
No
guys.
worries.
Means a lot to be on the first one.
Do you think there'll be another one, Ben?
There might be.
After
Just
today?
well, maybe in your opinion, guys, Kaz and Whitty, who, if we were to grab two new people to jump on and have a beer with us next week, who would you kind of, you know, not like nominate to go on? Like who would you like to see on here? Who do you think has a good story to tell?
Maybe Sam for a response.
Sam and maybe Barry.
Definitely. Barry
For
would be
simplicity.
good. Or Matt. Matt
Yeah.
might have some memories.
Sam and Matt.
Or not.
Maybe we could bring Murchie out of retirement and get him
That'd be
reconnected
nice.
somehow.
It would be nice to speak to Daniel.
Yeah.
I had a story about Daniel.
For
Another time.
Ben, Kaz, Whitty and Kaz, thank you so much. Ben Ogden, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Yon.
It's been lovely hanging out at the bar today. Stay there. We'll have another drink after this, but we should bring the formalities to an end this morning. If people want to like and subscribe, they can do that, can't they, Ben? I don't know where, but they can do it.
I
But
guess we're just figuring that bit out now, but it'll be. I think it will be on Spotify. You can Google us. I mean, Spotify us. I don't know. We'll be somewhere. Counter lunch. But yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll post it up somewhere.
love it. Till next time, counter lunch. Done. Take the plates away.
Oh, put a fork in me. I'm done.